Hello all, this is Standard 9 Science Chapter 12 video. Okay, the chapter name is Improvement in Food Resources from Standard 9, and this will be from your NCERT textbook. Okay, 2025 by me, Rajneesh Khambhati. I will try to make this concept easy for you. Okay, you can see in this diagram a few crops are present. Okay, so let me just make this bigger. Okay, I hope that you are able to see and the audio is clear, and let's begin. The chapter is about improvement in food resources here. So we technically going to talk about food. Okay, what is food? Let us first define, okay, that why should we take food and what is the importance of food. So every organism in this world who is living, they eat the food. Why they eat the food? Because when they eat the food, this food will give energy, and with that energy, growth and development occurs. And in other way, because of the energy we are living. Okay, if we do not have energy, we can't live and do our normal functions. So every organism require food. Okay, because the food will give you energy, and with the energy we can grow and we are alive, and that is importance of the food. So that means every organism who is living must eat food. Okay, it is a must thing for organism to eat. Clear? So now when we want to eat, what should we eat? So there are main sources of the food. What as a food we take? We take animal as a food, we take plant as a food. Clear? There are like animal. Okay, when we take animal as a food, it is coming from animal husbandry. See, food means we have to grow our food. Remember that. Clear? Food means you will not get food from air. So simple. We have to grow our own food. So when we grow animal as a food, okay, we take care of animal. That is known as animal husbandry. So animal husbandry we do for many purposes, and one purpose is food. We'll take animal as a food. So we will be growing the animal as a food, which is known as animal husbandry on the large scale. Okay, industrial scale you can say. Then we will eat plant, and we are getting our plant as a food from agriculture. Okay, we do the farming, and so this is how. Now one thing is clear: food is animal, food is plant. Animal we get from the animal husbandry, plant will get from agriculture. Now animal and its product, plant and its product, okay, together we are eating, and this is what source of the food. This is the major source of the food. Clear? Now this food will provide us few nutrients, like we get protein from the food, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins and minerals. These are the things we eat by the food. Okay, we get from food, and that is why when you eat the food, it will give you energy. Clear? So for energy, actually food, not only food, the food has these nutrients. What is this? The component of the food, the nutrients. These nutrients actually will give you energy. Okay, protein, carbohydrate, fat, vitamin and mineral. That means, again, understand, so when we eat the food, we are eating not just food, we are eating these things. Okay, we eat these things, we eat this. Okay, not only food. Now all of which we require for the body development, growth, and health. And what is the need of these things? So answer is here: for the body development, for the growth, and for the health of a human being. Both plants and animals are. Okay, this is the first line. What is this? We know that all living organisms need food. Actually, I just talked, okay, previously about. So we read in the newspaper normally that efforts are always being made to improve the production by scientists, by farmer, okay, in agriculture and in animal husbandry, everywhere. Why? Because everybody require food. Simple. We all require food, and we'll get food from animals and from plants. And we are getting plants and animal from animal husbandry and agriculture. Okay. And why this is necessary? Why this improvement is necessary? The question is here. Why this improvement is necessary? So why we cannot make do with the current levels of the productions? Okay, whatever the food is right now available in the market for eating, why we just can't, okay, do with it? Okay, so that's a big question, that why it is necessary, means why it is necessary to improve the food. This can be the question. And the second question is, whatever the current level of the food is available, why we cannot make, okay, why we cannot do with that? Why we cannot survive? In simple terms, I should say survive. So that is a big question. Okay, so let's see the answer of this question. The answer is, okay, this is the question and this is answer of that question. India is very populous country. Because we live in India and we have to talk about India. India is very populous country. Okay. Our population in India is greater than 1 billion people. How much population do we have? Greater than 1 billion people. And this population is still growing. Okay. It is still growing. So 1 billion population is there. We are still growing. Now imagine, we just talked first that every organism need food. Just imagine that there is 1 billion people. The population is still growing in India. And this all growing population plus present population, every organism require food. Everybody will require the food. And that's the question, how we are able to provide food to all these people, this big huge number, billions of people. So how? Now do not say answer that we can buy food from the shop and etc. Okay, because in the shop the food is coming from farming. Okay, farming of animal, farming of plants. So if you are not growing, if you are not farming enough, you will not get food, and that's a big issue. Let's read the next line. As food for this growing population, we soon will need more than a quarter of a billion tons of the grain every year. See, every year we require this huge amount of the food for everybody, for everybody. So the question is, this big growing population must eat and we have to provide them food. How much food? This is the answer. Okay, quarter of a billion ton every year. So from where? And the second question is how? From where and how you are able to provide the food? That's the question. So this can be done by farming on a more land. So answer is very easy. Because we getting the food from the farm, so simple, do the farming, more farming. But more farming require more land. Understand? You can more farm, you can get more yield from the more land, but that's the problem, that land is limited. Okay, let me just clear this. Okay, but in India already, whatever the land is present, it is being intensively cultivated right now. We are using that land already for growing, for the farming. And we can't add more land because population is increasing. Understand this. Okay? Because the population is increasing. But the next question, oh, my mistake, just a second. Population is increasing. But my question is logically think, stop and answer this question. Is land increasing? Is land increasing? See, population is increasing day by day. But do land increasing or decreasing? Okay, the answer is land is decreasing because more people which are getting born every year, every single second, every single minute, they require home, they require land, and so they acquire the land as a home and many other purposes. So that is why the land is decreasing day by day, but population is increasing, and that's a problem. That if you want more food, we need more land. Now that's a problem because land cannot increase. We can't increase the land, but we want more food. Now that is the reason we want to improve the food so that in a small amount of land, not more land, in the same amount of land, we can get more food. We can get more food. Okay. So this is the reason we have to improve the food. Okay. See this last line. As a result, we do not have any major scope for increasing the area. We cannot increase area or a land for farming. Okay, we can't increase the land under cultivation or for more cultivation. See, we require more land. This line, we require more land. But the question and the answer is this: we can't add it. Okay, there is no scope. Why there is no scope? Because people increasing, land do not increasing, it is decreasing day by day. You might have seen in many places that previously that land was abandoned or maybe farming land, but right now on that land, home or a business or an industry or many things are there. Maybe building is there. Okay, so land is decreasing. Now, therefore, it is necessary to increase our production efficiency. That means more yield. We want more yield in small or the same land. Now, that's a thing. Clear? This is the thing. What we want to increase more yield, but in the same amount of land without increasing land. Okay, but for what? Our food. And what is our food? Our food is crop means plant and livestock means animal. Clear? Let's move ahead. And that is why efforts, see, now we know the criteria that why we require increasing the resource of the food, or just a second. Okay. Okay. So now you know that why should we improve the food resources? Okay. Efforts to meet the food demand. See, the answer is here. To meet the food demand for greater than billion people by increasing food production have led to some success so far, and actually we have got some success also. How we got success? So this is the answer. We got success in two ways. Number one, the success is known as green revolution, which contribute to increase food grain production. What we increased? We increased food grain production. Means when plant increased, okay, when crop growing increase, when yield increase, okay, when yield increases more than the usual and everybody got the food, means food increased. Okay, food grain production increased, yield increase. That is known as green revolution. So what is green revolution? The green revolution means the increase in the food grain production or yield. Yield increased. Okay, that is called as green revolution. And what is white revolution? White revolution means which has led to better and more efficient use as well as availability of the milk. So this is the last sentence, which is very important and directly describes white revolution. White is what? Milk is white. So when there is increase in the yield of a milk, and when milk okay, is available to everybody, everybody right now is able to take the milk from the dairy. Like we have Amul dairy. Okay, we have Amul dairy. Now you know every morning you use the milk of Amul dairy from Anand. So we are getting the milk, and every single person in the country get milk as a food. So when this is happened, this is known as white revolution. Previously, it was not possible to get milk for everybody, but right now it is increased. How? See, so which has led to the better and more efficient use. Okay, more efficient use. That means we are getting milk and its products as well as availability of the milk. So milk is also available for everybody. This is known as white revolution. However, this revolution means that our natural resources are getting used more intensively. Now, this is the great line we have to take care. So let me explain. When you have green revolution, when you have white revolution, means you get more grain production, you get more milk production. So when you get more from the nature, that means you are getting from the nature. See, for example, plant. Okay, in the green revolution, see, I'm writing here. In the green revolution, plant will get nutrition, then water from the nature. So when you grow more plant, more nutrient will be absorbed and more water will be used by the plant. And water and minerals and other things are what? It's a natural resources. What is this? This is natural resource. Same. White revolution means milk. Who will give us the milk? Milk is coming from food. Okay? By animal. Understand this. Animal will eat the food and the food will then be converted into the milk. That okay, so when you get more milk means you need more food, and more food will again coming from natural. It is a natural resource. Food is what? Food, water, other things are what? Natural resource. That means when there is a revolution, we are actually using our nature so often and so more than usual. That means it is getting utilized more intensively, extra utilized. Okay, exploited. Okay, it is in other terms we can say our resources are exploited, more exploited. So now when you use your natural resources more, one thing I think you obviously know in your standard 9 that natural resources are very essential for the life to sustain on this earth. For example, what if water is not there on this earth? Can you live? Can you live without oxygen on this earth? Etc. 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 All are natural resources. Okay, we are not going in detail over here in this topic. Okay, as a result, see, I'm I'm reading the next. As a result, there are more chances of causing damage to the natural resources. See, we are using more natural resources. They are getting exploited. That means natural resources are damaged. This is the line. We are damaging to the nature. We damage to the nature to the point of destroying, and nature will be destroyed. When destroyed, there will be imbalance. Okay, imbalance. There will be imbalance into the nature, and imbalanced nature cannot sustain life. Okay, life cannot sustain over there. It cannot grow over there. Just imagine earth without life. Okay, we can't imagine. Therefore, it is important that we should increase the food production, but without degrading the environment. Clear? So you have to understand the summary of this three PPTs. Okay, 3 slides. Like, you now know that why we have to increase the food. Now you know how we increase the food. And then we know, okay, third thing you now know, that is what is the effect of that increase. So we have to take care of all these points. That means we have to produce more food, but without degrading our environment, our mother nature, and disturbing the balance, maintaining it. And that is the reason we have to improve. That's the reason we need some improvement in the food resources. Clear? I hope that you're getting this. Hence, there is a need of sustainable practice. So what we need sustainable practice. Means sustainable means you can use it. You can use the natural resources, but you should not waste it. Okay, and that is known as sustainable practices in the agriculture and animal husbandry. Also, simply increase grain production. Now, this is the next separate point. You increase the food, that's good. You have so much food now. But if you think that I have this year increased, produces so much food, after big production of the food, what I will do is I will store it. Just imagine that you will store it in the warehouses. Now you know what happens in the warehouses. We store the food, we store many things. Cannot solve the problem. Is it the solution that you produces once a large number of grains or fruits or vegetables, then you will store it. Okay, and then you think that in the few coming years we are able to utilize this food even if we can't grow new food. Just imagine, think, can it this is it possible? Is it possible? Can you do that? The answer is no. Because when you store the food in the warehouses, okay, there are few things that we get food lost. Okay, we get some degradation or a loss of a food during the storage, that we have to learn, okay, in the same chapter. So I am not right now increasing this point, okay, that what happens when we store the food. Now, next thing, that means now you have a food in the warehouses. Your warehouses are full. Your warehouses are full of the food. Next thing is, so everybody will get the food. No, people should have money to purchase the food also, na. Understand? What if you have so much food in your warehouses, but people do not have money to purchase the food? In that sense, people again will not get the food, and that is not our motto. Our motto is to give food to everybody on this earth. We have to provide food to everybody. Everybody, okay, each and every person. And this is not getting food fulfilled over here just by storing the food into warehouses. If I just store it into the warehouse, it is not possible. Okay. Next, food security depends on both availability. So I just told you that when you utilize the food, when you store the food into warehouses, we get some losses over there. Okay. So we have to secure our food into the warehouses, and that depends on both. Number one, availability of the food, and number two, access to the food. Okay, so this is the first line, this is the second line. Actually, this is the explanation of the both things. This is called access, and this is availability. Okay, people should have money to purchase the food, that is access. What if people do not get the food from the warehouses, from the market? That is useless. Okay, next, increasing the income of the people working in agriculture is therefore necessary to combat the problem of hunger. Clear? What we have to do? Just imagine about a farmer. Okay, there is a farmer. The farmer. The farmer is depending on what? Crop production on a farming. And we know that farmers are not getting money, so much money as other people are getting. So what if farmer will not get the earning, not get money from its farming? In that case, he will left that thing, doing the farming. What if it, okay, stop farming? Then we will not get the food. When we do not get the food is not getting produced by the farmer. In that case, again, the same problem. There is no food. There is no food. And that is a scare question. That's a square. Okay. It's a scare thing. So we have to do something so that farmer can earn more money. So that farmer can do more farming. When farmer do more farming, we get more food. And that's solved. Next is scientific management practices should be undertaken to obtain the high yields. So, how to increase the food? Okay, sustainable management, we just talk about sustainable. But over there, to do that, we can use scientific management. What we can use is, we can use scientific methods to farming so that we can get high yields. For sustained livelihood, one should undertake what we can do. Okay, what is the scientific management we can do to get the high yield? And what is that high yield? The high yield is number one. We can do that via mixed farming, intercropping, integrated farming. This is scientific management. What are these three topics? These three topics are scientific management farming, means how to use the science in the farming so that we can get high yield. So simple. Okay. You just do not have to do the hard work. We have to use the science so that we can get high yield, and every farmer should use this. For example, combining agriculture like livestock, poultry, fishery, beekeeping, all these things we can do together along with the farming. For example, you have a farm. In the farm, you are growing some plants, and with the plant, may you can grow the poultry together. May you can use fisheries together. So plant means your crop plus, like, see, crop plus fish or poultry, etc. When you do these things together, so that is how also we can do this, like crop plus beekeeping, so that you can get honey, then wax products, etc. And when you have extra thing, you can sell extra thing, you can earn extra money. The question becomes, how do we increase the yield of the crops and livestock? Okay, and the next question arises from all these answers is, how to increase the livestock then? Clear? If you have not understood, again, go back, repeat this, okay? Few minutes of video. It is necessary to understand the chapter, okay? If you can't remember, it's not a problem, but we have to understand the concept behind this chapter. And that is very essential for you people, okay? Let's move ahead. This is 12.1 topic in your textbook. Clear? So while you read the textbook, you can understand, okay, that this slide is from 12.1. The topic is improvement in the crop yields. How to improve? That's the answer. It is answered over here. Like, we have a food, we are eating the food, and we are eating protein, carbohydrates, and other things. Okay, so this is the example of that plant from where we will get all these things like fat. Fat will we can get the fat from oil seeds. Okay, some seeds will give us oil or fat. Example are soybean, groundnut, sesame, castor, mustard, linseed, and sunflower will provide us with the necessary fat. Means if you want to eat the fat, you have to eat this. And you know that in every day you are using this. Okay. Next, we are getting carbohydrates from the cereals. What is the source? Okay, what are those things? These things are sources. So carbohydrate source are cereal. Cereals, when you eat, it will give you carbohydrates. Examples are wheat, rice, maize, millets, sorghum. You will get protein from the pulses. Okay, the source is pulses. An example of the pulses are gram means chana, pea means matar, black gram means urad, green gram means moong, pigeon pea means arhar, and lentils means masoor. Okay, you know that when you eat dal bhat, it is this dal. What is this dal in our kitchen? Then we also eat. See, we just not eating the cereals, pulses, or these oil giving seeds, but we also eat vegetables. So what vegetables will give us? Vegetables like leafy vegetables or root. See, leafy like spinach, leaf like spinach, and root like you are eating beetroot, radish, carrot, etc., which are the root. So these things we are eating as vegetables. And what these vegetables will provide us? They will give us carbohydrate, fiber, mineral, and few vitamins, etc. So we should eat the vegetables. We also eat spices in the food, like it will give us taste. You know why we use the spices? For the taste. But not only the taste, but antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. These are the things we'll get from the spices. We also eat fruit. What are the fruit? Fruits are naturally sweet. They are called nature's candy because they have natural sugar in them. The fruits are full of sugar, fiber, vitamins, minerals, etc. And when we eat the fruits, we'll get all these things together. Clear? So if you want to eat the fiber, vitamin, mineral, carbohydrate, fibers, vitamins, and everything, now you know what you should eat to get these nutrients. What is this? Nutrients. Okay. In addition to these food crops, this is for human being, but fodder crops like barsim, oat, Sudan grass are also raised as the food for the livestock. Livestock means animal. Clear? See, this whole area, this is for human being. This is for human being. Human will eat. But just imagine you are petting the animal, you are doing animal husbandry. For that, what animal should be given as a food? So animals will be given the fodder crops. For example, fodder crops means food of animal. Okay, domesticated animals like cow, buffalo, etc. So they will be given some food like barsim, oats, Sudan grass, etc. Okay, we are giving them these food which are known as the fodder crops. For what? For whom? For the animals. And animals are known as livestock. Okay, whenever the word is there, livestock, that means we are talking about animals for animal husbandry. So let's jump on to the next slide. We have increased 4x production. Okay, there is a spelling mistake over here. Do not mind it, please. 4x typing error it is. There is a 4x productions of the food grain from 1952 to 2010. It is a time frame. The time period is 1952 to 2010. How much food did we increased? 4x production. And the question is how? So just by increasing 25% cultivable land area. How much area or a land we increased? 25% land area increased by us. And how much food increased in that land? 4x. Okay, so it is actually huge amount. This is huge. Okay, so the question is, and the understanding point is how it is possible that by increasing only 25% cultivable land area, we got 4x, 4 times higher production than the usual, than the previous during this 1952 and 2010. So the answer is, in short, if I just tell you, by using scientific methods. Okay, how we did that? By using scientific methods. And all these scientific methods are there in the whole chapter after this. So whatever we are learning, this is the management, or this is the science behind farming. Clear? So let's see. Next topic is, how has this increased in the productions been achieved? How? Okay, that is my question. So if we think of the practices involved in the farming, it's divided into 3 stages. Okay, there are 3 stages for the farming. Okay, 3 stages of what? Farming. Let me write here. Means if you are a farmer, if you want to do farming, okay, how you have to do the farming? So you have to follow these steps. Like number 1, the first step is to choice of the seeds. You have to choose good quality seeds. Okay, good quality seeds, because if the seeds are not good, you know, the plants, the crops will not be good. Second step is, after germinating the seeds, nurturing of the crop plants. You have to nurture crop, take care of that crop. And step number 3, after taking care, you have, when they grow, okay, when you nurture the plant will grow. Let me just again give you, you need a seed. What will happen with the seed? Seed will germinate into plant. It will become a plant. Now, when that plant is growing, you have to nurture that crop. Nurture means take care. All the type of care you have to take, like giving water, giving nutrients, okay, protection, etc. So that's actually, sorry, that is the topic of only nurturing. And the next topic is, third step is protection. You have to protect it. Imagine your crop is standing in the farm, but some animals are coming and eating your crop. Then what you will get? Zero. You'll get nothing. So you have to protect the growing harvested crop from the loss. Okay, from loss, you have to protect your plant. When you follow these 3 steps, we can get more yield. And this is how we got 4x production in 25% land only. And we can do some activities to increase the yield or improve the crop yield. Like crop, we can improve the crop variety, we can improve the crop production, and we can improve protection management. Clear? 12.1.1 crop variety improvement. Over here, variety we can use as a type of a crop. Okay, if the variety of the crop is good, we can get good yield. If the variety is not good, we cannot get the good yield. That means variety is very important. And so we will be improving variety of the crop to get the good yield. Okay. We have to improve the yield, and that's why we have to improve the good variety. Varieties or strains, okay, or types of the crops can be selected by breeding for various useful characteristics. Now, if you want to improve, how to improve? And the answer is here, we can actually use the technique, breeding technique. Okay, what we can do is we can use the breeding technique. Okay, we can use breeding technique to make a good variety. Now that variety, what we are just breeding, okay, which is also the process is known as hybridization. Okay, the process over here is known as hybridization. So this process, the breeding technique, will give us the plant for few characters. Okay, we will be making the we will be tailoring the plant according to our need, according to our interest of characters. Like I want disease resistance plant, so I will make in that way. Like I want my plant to respond for the fertilizer, means they should absorb the fertilizer very quickly. Okay, and or I want good product quality and high yield also. So I can okay get this traits, get this character via improvement of the crop. Okay, so I will improve my crop to get this and this character. Now the question is how to do that. Okay, and I told you that process is known as hybridization. Okay, what it is known as hybridization. You have to understand the meaning of hybridization. Here, one way of incorporating the desirable character into the crop variety is by hybridization. So it's a method we are using to give the character, okay, desirable character to the crop. Let's understand hybridization. So what is hybridization? Hybridization means it is referring to the crossing between two genetically dissimilar plant, okay? Two different plants. And the term here is crossing. Crossing over here means sexual reproduction between the plants. But it should be artificial. Like, let me now explain the process. Let's take two plant. Like I have plant 1 and I have plant 2. Okay, this is plant 1. Now this plant 1, for example, this is a mango plant. Okay, plant 1, which is a mango plant, it has a big size mango, but the taste is sour. Okay, the taste is sour. And there is another plant whose mango is small in a size, but the good thing is it is very sweet in the taste. Now what I want is I want my mango to become the big in a size and sweet in the taste. Now you can see this both character is not there in a single plant. Okay, so what I'll do is I will do the hybridization. That means, for example, this is a plant 1. I will take pollen of plant 1 and I will transfer the pollen on the female stigma of plant 2. Okay. So here, let me just draw it for you. This is a stigma of a female. So the pollen will land onto the stigma. Okay. This pollen possess the DNA of plant 1 and the stigma, actually this is the female part, and inside this ovary, this is the egg. What is this? Egg. Okay. And this egg possess DNA of the second plant. Okay. DNA of plant 2. So I'm writing DNA 2 and pollen carry plant 1's DNA. So I'm writing DNA 1. Okay. So when this pollen, okay, goes on to the stigma of this plant 2's female, what it will do is it will germinate and fertilizes the egg. Over here, what happens then? Understand? Egg plus the pollen grains, pollen, okay, which carries the DNA, or you can say male gamete, which is sperm, for example, sperm. Okay, so sperm means male and egg means female. So when these two things join together, now just understand there is a DNA in the egg of a female and there is a DNA of sperm. When they both together fuse is known as fertilization. In the end, they fuse and forms the zygote. Okay, this is known as zygote. And this zygote carries both DNA. Okay, DNA of plant 1, DNA of plant 2. And now, when this zygote turns into the seed, and when this seed turns into plant, baby plant, this plant will now grow and give us the mango, which is big in the size and sweet in the taste. Now you can see the baby plant's fruit is big as plant 1 and sweet as plant 2. So this process is known as hybridization. Okay. Now there are many ways to do this hybridization, like one is called intervarietal, means between two different varieties. Second is known as interspecific, means between two different species of the same genus. And the third type is called intergeneric, means between different genera. So this is how you can use the hybridization process to make the plant according to your wish. Okay. Like I wanted big size mango, but sweet in the taste, like that. So what exactly I am doing? I am no incorporating the character of my desire into the crop. Clear? So the next is the second method to do so is called GMO. GMO means genetically modified organism. This O is for organism. Okay, let me write it here. Okay. So GMO means genetically modified organism. Genetically means gene. Gene means DNA. Okay. DNA carries the DNA, gene, sorry. Okay. The small segment of a DNA, which is a functional unit, is known as gene. Gene means gene carries the character. Okay. So I will modify it. I will change it. Modify means change. So simple over here is I will change the DNA. I will change DNA and thereby I can change organism. So simple. Clear? If I change the DNA of some organism, simply I can change the whole organism because DNA carries character. Clear? So if I am changing the DNA, that means I am changing the character over here. So how to do that? Understand over here. Let's read first. GMO is another way of improving the crop by introducing a gene that would provide the desired characteristics. Means over here, I will directly take the DNA from the plant, okay, who have the desired character, and I will just give that DNA directly into the new plant. And that new plant directly, okay, will carry the character which I wanted. So this process of transferring of DNA or altering the DNA or changing the DNA is known as GMO. And this is how I can make genetically modified crops. Over here, the organism is my crop, my plant. So this is the GMO, the next topic with which I can change the variety. That we need to improve the variety. We need to improve variety. Okay. So how to improve the variety? The process one is known as hybridization. Okay, one process is hybridization. And the second process is, one is hybridization and second process is GMO. So these are the two methods with which we can improve the variety. We can improve the variety. Now, once you improve the variety, the question is why you want to improve the variety. Again, if I just ask a question, what can be the answer? Try to give the answer. Okay. Why you want to improve the variety? Okay. Why? So that you can get high yield. What you want? High yield. Okay. You want high yield at the cost of high yield. But how? Without damage nature or natural resources. I will just write nature over here. Okay. So again, see, we want to improve the variety with the help of hybridization and the GMO according to your textbook right now. Okay, we can do that. Why you want to improve the variety? So that you can get increased yield. Okay. And how we want to increase without damaging the nature, so that your natural resources should not getting exploited. Okay, it should not be exploited. And why without damaging? So that nature can remain under the balance. Okay, remain under the balance. Okay, so you now know that you have improved the variety. Okay, via everything. So for the new varieties of crops to be accepted, now once you improved, what can be the next step? The next step is those new improved varieties should be accepted by farmers. What if you improved, you have made a good plant, but the farmers are not ready to use it in their farm, not ready to grow them? Then it's a problem. So the next thing is acceptance. Okay, what is this? Acceptance by the farmers. So we now understand, okay, this. We have to understand this now. It is necessary that variety produces high yield. Okay, the farmers have to accept it. And how it is possible? How it is possible that farmer can accept it? Okay, there are the few criteria. Now those few criterias are: number one, your new improved variety should give high yields under different weather conditions and that are found in the different areas. Very important point. When farmers can accept your crop, your improved variety, when it is giving high yield, okay, under every different conditions only. If it is not giving high yield, no one is going to use it. Farmers would need to be provided. Okay, that's a fun thing. And second thing is, what is the second thing? The second thing is farmer should be provided with the good quality seeds. Now farmers want to accept it, and how they can accept if they are not provided by good quality seeds? So the second step is, okay, it should give high yield is the first point, and this is the second point, that you have to provide good quality seeds to the farmer for the particular variety. For example, mango, rice, etc. Whatever they wanted, or you have improved the variety of a crop. That is, seed should be all of the same variety. So you are providing good quality seeds. But sometimes what happens, one seed is having the good quality plant, but other seed is not having the good quality plant. Under such conditions, again, farmers will not accept your new variety. Okay, they will not accept. If I just give you example, so you are buying 10 mango plants or 10 mango seeds. So out of the 10 mango plants, for example, 5 mango seeds are growing in a desirable traits, okay, with the desirable characters. But other fives are not the same quality. It is a different quality. Under certain circumstances, okay, these farmers are not happy and they are not going to utilize your or accept your new improved variety, good quality seeds. And the next point is that seed should germinate. What if out of the 10 seeds, 5 germinated, but 2 do not germinate? See, I will write over here. There are 10 seeds of a mango. And let us divide this into 3 groups. Out of the 3, 5 is germinating. Okay, 5 seeds are germinating in a good quality. So that's the problem solved. But there is another 2 seeds who do not germinate. They did not grow at all. They didn't grow. And other 3 grew, but they are not of optimum quality, what you desire. So they are not carrying quality. Okay. So there is no quality in other three seeds. Now, as a farmer, just imagine, are you happy with this? And would you buy seeds again from the same scientist, maybe lab, or are you going to buy that variety who is like this? So this is the problem should not occur with the farmer. And if this problem is solved, then only farmers can accept it. Okay, it should germinate under all conditions, means under a different weather condition, under different soil types, pH, okay, water scarcity, etc. Under every different condition, your plant should grow. Obviously, it should grow. Otherwise, farmers will not accept it. Okay, so I hope that you are okay understanding this. You have understood this nicely. Okay, I will again say this is okay. I am no stretching this extra, but it is essential for you. Okay, you can read the textbook and you can remember it, but your understanding matters first. You do not have to mug it up. Okay, that is my motto over here. So let's jump on to the next topic. It is cultivation practices and the crop yields are related to weather, soil quality, and availability of soil. Now this is the point of this next point. Okay, this is the explanation of this last point from here. What is this explanation? What explanation? I just told you that your seeds should germinate under, it should germinate under the same condition as well as under different areas. Okay, in any condition they should grow. Any condition they should grow. Okay, like in Gujarat, I will grow the same plant should germinate into Maharashtra, maybe Kerala, etc. Different places, Punjab. Okay, so this is the quality we require, and so this is the explanation that cultivation practice and crop yields are related to weather, soil quality, and availability of water. So even if you have a good quality seeds, again, few factors are there, like what is the weather, what is the quality of the soil, and is there water available and type of water, etc. If these conditions are not fulfilled, again, your seed will not be germinating. Clear? Since weather conditions such as drought, flood situations are unpredictable, varieties that can be grown in the diverse climatic conditions are only used. Apply your knowledge in this line, because weather, soil quality, and the water availability is very important. Very important. That means if there is they are not getting fulfilled, okay, it can't grow. So there are few areas like drought can come at any time, maybe flood can come at any time. You don't know when it is coming. Okay, so under these kinds of condition, your seed should germinate under any condition. Whatever happens, it should grow. Is it good? Okay, is it good? Just imagine that you are a farmer, you are growing a seeds, okay, of a good quality, but suddenly rain do not come. The condition is right now drought condition. Now this is a different condition than you thought. Now under this condition, your seed should germinate, obviously, or the reverse is suddenly flood comes. Then what happens in the flood? Plant will not grow. Normal plant will not grow. So in either condition, okay, whatever the condition is there, your seed will not germinate. Okay, seed will not germinate. When a seed will not germinate, no product, no produce. Okay, there is no produce, no food, no food. Now that's a problem. We want food for everybody. Okay, so we require the seeds, the variety, okay, the seeds of the variety or the variety which can grow under diverse climatic conditions, which can grow under any condition. So you don't have to worry as a farmer. Clear? Similarly, the varieties, okay, the varieties tolerant to the high soil salinity. They are also very, see, soil, the quality is soil quality. What if your soil is not good? If it is a extra saline, etc. So your variety should be tolerant to high salinity that can, okay, destroy your plant. That can destroy your plant, and your seed will not germinate. Even after it is germinating, it can't grow. So soil salinity have been developed. Okay, remove this. So now I will again give you overview of this slide so that you can understand. You have made a good quality of variety. Again, pay attention. You have developed a good variety, and that variety should be accepted by the farmers. And when farmers can accept it, when it is giving high yield under different conditions only. This is the main line. Okay, this is the main line, and other things are explanation of this. Okay, these other things are explanation. So to be accepted, you have to provide good quality seeds of that variety, and those seed should be of a same variety and they should germinate. Okay, the seeds should be of the same variety. The seed should germinate under any condition. Why? Because the farming practices, cultivation practices, and your crop yield, these both things are means your farming and your yield, how much you produce, your product. Okay, these both things are, yield means produce. Okay, so your farming and your produce depends on weather, soil, and water. If these things are not fulfilled, it can't grow. So along with the good quality seeds, your seed should be able to germinate under different diverse climatic conditions. Conditions like drought or flood. And also they should be tolerant to the high soil salinity. And that is why we have developed these varieties. Right now, these varieties are available. Clear? Okay. Let's jump on to the next slide. The factors for which varieties have been improved. Okay. Now you are aware about the process of hybridization. So you do the hybridization, but the question is for which kind of a character you will do that. You need some good characters. Okay. So these are the factors or the characters are given. Character number one, we can do improve the variety or we can do hybridization to get higher yield. The one thing we know is we need is higher yield. To increase the productivity means yield, crop per acre. What is the productivity? How much you can produce per acre. So that is called productivity. A second character or the factor is improved quality. You need good quality. Your quality should be improved, but the quality is depending on a type of crop. Like the baking quality is important for the wheat. So I will improve the wheat for that character, baking quality. Then the pulses providing protein, high protein. So I will improve my pulses. I will do hybridizations of my pulses for protein only, so that my pulses carry more protein. Oil quality in the oil seeds. Okay. Preserving qualities in the fruits and vegetables. Just imagine that you are growing fruits or any vegetables that can that is having a shelf life of 10 days, for example. What it is called is shelf life. So, for example, you know that one normal apple, how many days, it can remain fresh or eatable? How many days? Let's say, for example, 3 days. For example, 3 days. Okay. But right now I am able to develop the apple. So that apple can live up to 30 days. It can remain fresh for 30 days. And these 30 days will allow me to sell in far area. Selling in far away area. And that is how, okay, I can sell more because they are not, okay, undergoing the decaying process. They are remaining fresh. So you can sell it and you can earn it. That's the thing. You can earn it. You have to earn it. So this is the quality, okay, or the factors for which we are improving the variety. Okay, these are the questions. Describe the factors for which the question is. Describe the factors for which varieties are improved. Okay, so we learned two. One is higher yield, another is quality improvement. Next is third, biotic abiotic resistance, where the meaning of biotic is disease, insects, nematodes, every living thing. Every living thing which is a factor affecting, it is comes under biotic condition. And abiotic conditions means every non-living things. Okay, what is this non-living? Non-living like drought, salinity, water lodging, heat, cold, frost, stresses under different situations. So these things when affect the plant yield, this is known as abiotic factor. Okay, so biotic means living factor, abiotic means non-living factors. So your plant should be resistant, means it should not get affected from any of this. Whatever happens, your plant must grow. Varieties resistance to this stresses can improve the crop production. For example, you have insects in your plants, your soil is saline, okay, water lodging problem is also there. So under this condition, normal plant cannot grow, but your crop is growing. When your crop is growing, okay, it will grow, that means it will give me yield. When yield is given, then the normal, that means it is improvement. It is improvement of what? Production. Improvement of yield. Clear? Next is the fourth point is change in the maturity duration. Very important point for the farming. Let's understand duration of the crop from sowing to the harvesting is known as maturity duration. Okay, means once you saw it, once you saw what? Seed. Once you saw the seed. So I will just write seed to yield. Clear? Seed to yield. This time period is known as maturity duration. And this duration can be vary according to type of crop. Short durations allows farmers to grow multiple rounds of the crops in a year. I will explain this over here. Like there is a crop, for example, rice. Now try to understand. There is a rice, for example. A normal rice, okay. Normal rice will take 4 months to mature. So 4 months you have to take care for the plant. 4 months. But I have grown a new rice plant which can be matured in 1.5 months. 1.5 months. Now you just compare. One plant is taking 4 months to ripe, to mature, but other plant, the same variety, sorry, the same species, but the different variety, okay, it is taking very, very low time. What is this? Less time. This is the less time to get mature, which is good. Obviously 1.5 month is good, because just imagine you have 12 month in a year. So how much crops you can take in 1 year of the rice if you want, for example? How many? Just divide 12 by 1.5. So just if I just tell you the tentative, okay, there are one. So let's take six, at least 6 or 7 crops per year. Means tentatively, I can grow 7 crops per year. This is just for example. Do not compare with the real life. So in a 12 month, I can have multiple crops. Means so many times. Whereas you can compare, we have a 12 month and I can grow only 4 crops. So how many crops I can take? 3 crop per year only, which is good. 7 is good or 3 is good. 3 crop means less money and 7 crops means high money, because obviously a farming is for food only, but also for earning. It's a earning purpose. Clear? So which is good. And this is the point which is called as multiple rounds of the crop. See written, we can grow multiple rounds of the crops if the maturity duration is less. Shorter durations also reduces cost of the crop production. The next point is good over here. See, 4 month you have to take care of a plant, means irrigation, fertilizer, labor work, etc. But in a 1.5 month maturation time period, you have to do not worry about all these things. Okay, these expenses will be lesser than this 4 month. So the cost of the production will be less, which is good for us. You are not, no, what should I say? You are not spending so much money, but you are selling the crop and earning more money. Because okay, because when you are giving less money, you are giving less money for fertilizer, labor, etc. After the yield, you will sell the yield and you will earn. Okay, so you are providing less money, means this is a saving. If you want to spend lesser money, you are saving your money. At the same time, you will selling something and you will earn. Okay, so this is also saving. Means you are saving money here and you are earning money here. So this plus this is equal to your profit. Okay, so your profit is high and increased. Clear? Next is uniform maturity makes your harvesting process easy and reduces the losses during the harvesting. For example, see, maturity, uniform maturity means the whole farm should mature together. Okay, so when your whole farm is maturing together, you can together yield it and you can sell it together. So this is also the way of saving money or earning money. And this is how loss can be minimized. Now the question is how the loss can be minimized. I will again explain it. For example, this is a farm. In the farm, I will grow 3 lines. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3. Now, number 1 row is earning first. Okay, according to its number 1 will mature first. I will yield it. But after the yield, what is the problem? I have to store it. And during the storing, that we are undergoes some losses. Because, okay, I cannot sell it. Why? Because there is second part and the third part of the crop is remain. Now, after few days, the second part will mature. Again, I will yield it. Okay, again, I will yield it. And then again, I have to store it because I have to sell everything together. Now, after a few days, this will mature. So you can see I have yield this first, the second, and the second number, third will be third number. So When I will make this all together, what could happen? You can just imagine that the first number, okay, I will lose some crops due to the storage and many other factors. Same thing, the lesser loss, but there will be some loss in the second number, and third is right now, so there is no loss, for example. But when I join this all yield together, okay, together, it will not give me higher yield because of loss. And why this happened? Because they are not uniformly maturing. So uniformity in the maturity, that means the whole farm will mature at first together. Over here, my labor work and other expenses will be minimized, and loss also very minimized. And next, fifth number factor is wider adaptability. Means my seed or my plant or my variety should grow under different environmental conditions, weather conditions, means soil, water, etc. One variety can be grown under different climatic conditions in a different areas. We just explained this. It's the same point. But this point is known as adaptability. Okay. So let's just jump on to the next is here. Sixth number factor is desirable agronomic character. We will be doing hybridization. If you are forgetting the process, we are learning that why we should do hybridization, why we should improve the variety. Okay, why we should improve the variety? So that I can get desirable agronomic characters like tallness and the profuse branchings are desirable in the fodder crops. My fodder crops means animal food should be very tall and branched. Profuse branching should be there so that it is easy for us. And dwarfness is the desired character in the cereals so that the less nutrients are consumed by these crops for increasing the height. Instead, they will utilize this to produce seeds, more seeds, good quality seeds. Okay, that we will be eating. Okay, if my plant is growing tall, tallness will utilize energy for the tallness. And when the energy is less, my seeds are less, produce yield is less. But when this plant is not growing in height, that all energy saved will be utilized for making seeds. Making seeds. Seeds means food. So this is good for me. So I want dwarfness in my cereals, and I want tallness and the profuse branching into the fodder crops. So these kinds of the desirable agronomic characters we can get by hybridization. Okay, the topic is over. Now, next topic is 12.1.2. Just a second. 12.1.2 crop production management. Let's read over here. India is what? Agriculture based country. That means in India, the most population depends on farming, agriculture. Okay, we depend on farming for the living. As we all are depending on the farming, all are farmer, the farming now can be divided into, okay, from small farm or small farming, small farmer to very large farmers. Okay. See, whatever is written, I am explaining in other terms. Over here, written is small farm to large farms. And that itself, okay, explains small farms is equal to small farmer. Large farms is equal to large farmer. Okay, small and large. So just now imagine if some farmer have a small amount of land. Let's say they have 1 vigha. 1 vigha of the land. And large farmers, for example, they have 100 acre, more than 100 acres of land, for example. So there are two farmers. One is having only 1 vigha of land. So that can be put into the small farm category. And other farmers who have 100 acres of land minimum. So we can put them into the large farm or large farmer category. Okay. Different farmers does have more or less land. And from this example, you can understand in India, many people have small amount of land and some have very big lands. And now what is the topic over here? Why we are talking about less land and more land? So here, if you have a less land, you will be earning less. And if you have a big land, you will be earning more money. And when you have more money, you can add more money to your farming. A small farmer cannot add more money into the farming, whereas the large farmer can earn more money, and so that they can add more money into the farming. More money adding means they can own technologies, like they can have tractor, for example. Okay, they can build greenhouses, which is normally cost 25 lakh, for example. Okay, minimum. So you can see it is a huge amount. Some like if you do hydroponics, it may ranges from 50 lakh to 60 lakh. So you can understand it's a huge amount. Now, which farmer can spend this money? Obviously, who have big amount of land or who have more money. Who have more money. But obviously, who will be having the more money? Who have the large farm, big farms. Okay. So, in short, it is the money or the financial conditions that allows the farmers to take up different farming practices. Getting the point? So it is not the farm more or a less land or a farm, but it is actually money. It is the financial condition of the farmer, okay, according to which the farming will choose the farming practice. Agricultural technologies, okay, they will choose something, okay, whatever is in their budget. There is a correlation between higher inputs and yield. Understand this. If you put high inputs, you will get high yields. High input means you will be buying a good amount of good quality of seeds, good quality of fertilizer, and etc. All these things in good quality. And good quality comes in high cost. You have to, okay, a farmer has to spend so much money. So higher input means you are spending money. And when you are spending money, it is very obvious that you can get higher yield. Okay. So where? Like seed, quality seeds, then may you can use hybrid seeds, etc. Okay. Maybe tissue culture seeds, tissue culture plant. Okay. So these are the things a farmer can add into the farming, which is costing very high. This is called higher input. And when you are using these things, you will be getting high yield. What you get is high yield. But imagine that there is a farmer who do not have such money. So they cannot put some higher inputs. Obviously, they will not get good yield as compared to the big farmer. Thus, the farmer's purchasing capacity for input decides the cropping system. Okay, means what type of agriculture management they will choose. And according to that only, a production practices, okay, they can utilize. Therefore, production practices can be at the different level, which can be of no cost type, low cost production type, and high cost production type. Okay, no cost, low cost, high cost. Okay, so these are the three things a farmer can choose. Now, no cost means you will not be using extra money. Okay, everything organic, natural, whatever is available with you, like in free, almost in free, you will utilize that and do the farming. And obviously, you will not get extra yield. Like you will not add good amount of fertilizer and etc. We will be not using good qualities of seeds, etc. Where is the low cost means you will be spending money but less money. So less money means cheap things, and cheap things will not give you the good yields. And the last is higher cost. Higher cost means you will be spending high money, and high money can give you good quality seeds, good quality fertilizer, and all things in good quality like pesticides, herbicides. Everything you require will be of good quality and higher cost, and with that you can get high yield. Let's jump to the next slide. When we talk about a high cost, so high cost, okay, high cost farming practice is a technique where we are using few things, and nutrition management is one of that things. Okay, in the high cost farming, this is the factor of high cost farming. Means if you have good money, you can utilize good nutrients management. How? Let's understand this. Just as we need food for the development, growth, and well-being. Okay, animal require food for the development and growth and for the well-being. Similarly, plants also require nutrients for their growth. Okay, they require this. Plant also living organism, and that is why they also require nutrients. And what they require, nutrients are supplied to the plants by air, water, and soil. We animal eat. Okay, how we get the nutrients? Via food. We eat the food and we get the nutrient. But how plants will get their nutrients? So plant will get their nutritions from air, from water, and from soil, from the three different places. And that nutrients are divided into two categories. One is called, okay, macronutrients. Macronutrient means they required by the plant in large quantity. Okay, understand this. When plant require nutrients in the large quantity, it is known as macronutrients. And when plant require these nutrients in small quantities, it is known as micro, means small quantity, micronutrients. So that is how we are getting two partitions of divisions of the nutrients, macronutrients and micronutrients. You can see this table. In the table, you can see the source is air, means air will provide few nutrients, like air will provide carbon and oxygen as a nutrient. A water will provide hydrogen and oxygen, whereas soil provide two type of major nutrients which are known as macronutrients and micronutrients. So the nutrients which are required by the plant in high quantity, which is known as macronutrient. An example is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. So just count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 macronutrients. And the second category is micronutrients, means small quantity. So small quantity nutrients are iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, and chloride. So these are required in the small quantity by the plants. Again, count the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these nutrients number are 7. So 6 are macronutrients and 7 are micronutrients. Together they are total 13 nutrients which are from the soil. Means soil will provide 13 nutrients to the plant. Out of the 30, 6 is macronutrients, 7 is micronutrients. Okay, I hope that you are getting this. Let's jump on to the next slide. Now, these nutrients are required by the plant for their growth and development. And if they do not get this, means if there is a deficiency of these nutrients, so the plant can show some effects, some characters. Now, what are those effects we can see in the plant? Okay, when there is a deficiency, means plant is not getting these nutrients. This is called as deficiency. So we can see some physiological processes like reproduction, growth, susceptibility to the disease. These things will be altered. Plant cannot do, or plant cannot perform reproduction, cannot perform growth, cannot protect itself from the disease, means affect on the physiological process. When there is a deficiency of these nutrients, minerals. And that is why it is very necessary for us to give these nutrients to the plant. Okay, we have to give these nutrients to the plant so that they can grow. Why? Because plants are crop and the crop is giving us food. Okay, so if crop cannot grow, we will not get the food, and that is why we have to provide them these nutrients for the complete growth. And to increase the yield, the soil can be enriched by supplying these nutrients in the form of manure and fertilizer. Okay, so why we have to give these nutrients to the plant? So that they can grow properly, and when they grow, we will get good amount of good yield of food. Okay, the product. And how to do that? How to provide nutrients to the plant? Okay, how to provide? So we can provide them in the form of manure and in the form of fertilizer. Okay, we can provide fertilizer, we can provide manure to the plant. Okay, in the form of a fertilizer and manure, we will be giving them nutrient. Okay, and now when you give them the nutrient, what will happen? They will grow. The crop will grow. They become healthy. And when they become healthy, you know what we will get? We will get good yield. We'll get good yield. Okay. Let's jump to the next slide. It is manure. Now, manure will provide, this is a mistake, large quantity of organic matter plus very small quantity of the nutrients. See, manure can provide nutrient, which is very important for the health of a plant. And how to make manure, or what is manure? So see, animal excreta, plant waste, or biological waste, or whatever organic is there, this, okay, those whole things undergoes the process known as decomposition with the help of bacteria, microorganisms. Okay, so bacteria will eat them, and the process is known as decomposition. In the end, they will turn into manure. Okay, this is the shortest way I am saying over here. So the decomposition of all these things will make the product, and that is known as manure. Now also you have to understand that to make the manure, we are using few things which are the waste material. Like you can see animal excreta, it's a waste material. Plant waste material. and certain other waste material. The waste means not useful for us. And such unuseful things we are converting into manure. Okay, so this is also kind of recycling. What is this? This is kind of a recycling process. So decomposition is very important over here because it is recycling all this waste material, okay, and creates a manure, and that is why the waste material disposal occurs into nature. So it is a good thing for the nature, because if you have a waste material, you are going to dump the waste into anywhere, but into the nature. Okay, into nature, maybe water, soil, etc. And that can create pollution. But when we do the process of decomposition, in that manner, we are disposing the waste material and creating the manure, useful thing for the plant, and we can stop pollution with this process. So this is the process with which we can do the recycling of this farm waste. Manure helps in enriching the soil with nutrients. Now just pay attention what manure contains. Manure contains two things. One is organic matter, and then another is nutrients. So this organic matter is very important. Nutrients are also very important. And when we give manure to the soil, okay, when you add manure to the soil, clear? Just imagine that you are adding manure to the soil. What exactly you are adding? You are adding the organic matter and nutrients. So this is how soil will get two important things, organic matter and nutrient, into the soil. And after that, it will help in increasing the soil health. Okay, soil become healthy, good for plant. So the same thing is written that it will help in enriching the soil with the two things, nutrients and organic matter. When you add these two things into the soil, it will increase soil fertility, soil health. And fertile soil is very important for the crop production. The bulk of organic matter, if you add organic matter into the soil, there are certain effects. Effects like if you add organic matter, okay, into the sandy soil, okay, into the sandy soil. Now, sandy soil cannot hold water, okay, it's a sand basically. So when you add organic matter into the sandy soil, the soil's water holding capacity will increase. Okay, soil's water holding capacity will increase. And when soil can retain the water, that water can nourish the crop. Okay, so it is important thing. Next, in the clay soil, if you add manure into the clay soil, so manure will be adding the organic matter. So see, the thing is, the large quantity of the organic matter will help in the drainage and avoiding the water lodging, the reverse condition. In clay soil, water cannot percolate down into the soil. Okay, that's a problem in the clay soil. And when we add organic matter, it is resolved. Okay, helps in drainage problem and water lodging problem. Okay, so these two problems can be resolved. You can understand one thing, that organic matter is one thing which is working in both way. Okay, it can increase the water holding capacity of the soil. At the same time, it can resolve the water lodging problem of the soil, drainage problem of the soil. So the manure is extremely important factor. Compost and vermicompost type of manure. So what is a compost and what is vermicompost? Let's learn. Like farm waste material like the livestock excreta, like cow, dung, and any other animals excreta. Okay, so excretory material. Then vegetable waste, animal refuse, domestic waste, sewage waste, straw, eradicated weeds, etc. When all these things, these are what? This is waste material. When this waste material undergoes the process known as decomposition. Okay, and who will do this decomposition? Microorganism like bacteria and fungus. Okay, so microorganisms will do the decomposition with this waste material, and where this process occurs into the pits known as composting. What is a pit? Pits, like this is a soil, for example. In that soil, we will make a pit. Okay, and then we will dump all the waste material. And these waste material will undergoes the process decomposition with the help of microorganism. Okay, so in the end, it will turn into manure, and this manure over here is known as compost. Okay, this is known as compost or simple manure. So see here again that the decomposed pits, okay, the pit is the place where this process occurs, and it is known as composting. The process is known as composting. Okay, the formation of a compost in the pit is known as composting, and this compost, or you can say manure, it is rich in, again the same thing, organic matter and nutrient, because compost is a manure only. Okay, so it is having nutrients and organic matter, and when you add compost or manure into the soil, it will be giving organic matter to the soil, nutrient to the soil, and this thing will make the soil fertile. Okay, soil become fertile. Here see, compost is prepared by using earthworm also to hasten the process of decomposition of a plant and animal refuse. Means the same thing. When same thing undergoes decomposition with the help of earthworm. Okay, so decomposition with the bacteria also plus earthworm, both together. Okay, the compost will be eaten by earthworm. The dead material will be eaten by the earthworm, and earthworm will create its excretion. The earthworm excretion, and these earthworm excretion over here known as vermicompost. Okay, this is known as compost, but it is made with the help of earthworm, known as vermicompost. So in vermicompost, what is happening, that it is undergoing the decomposition. Also, it will, okay, the compost will be eaten by earthworm. Okay, earthworm. And together, when earthworm, okay, in the end, earthworm is eating it and excrete it. And that excreta is known as vermicompost. And this is very good actually, because earthworm is making the process of decomposition very, very faster. Okay, the process will become faster. And this is called vermicompost. I hope that you all getting this. Next type of manure is known as the second type, green manure. Now, green manure means we are using sun hemp or guar plant. What is this? It's a name of a plant like guar plant or sun hemp plant. So we will grow the sun hemp plant like, okay. And just before they start the flowering, understand this. What you have to do is you have to grow the plant. Okay, number one step is you have to grow the plant. Which plant? Sun hemp or guar. So you grow the plant. When they grow, and just before they start the flowering, what we have to do is the second step is known as mulching. We will mulch it with the help of tractor. Okay, we'll plow them into the soil. Now these mulched plants enter into soil with the help of mulching, and in the soil with the help of bacteria. Okay, it undergoes a decomposition reaction, and then it will turn into the manure. This is what manure. When bacteria decompose, what is formed? Manure or compost. And this compost is made by green plant. This is made by green plant, not a dead plant, green alive plant. Okay, we just mulch them with the help of tractor, plow them into the soil. So at the time they plowed, they were green in the color and they turn into the manure. Okay, and this is known as green manure. Okay, manure of the green plant. So green plants thus turn into the green manure, which helps in enriching the soil with nitrogen and phosphorus. So what we will get? Most nutrient, phosphorus and nitrogen will be added to the soil along with two things. Okay, these two things are what? They are the nutrients. And again, organic matter. Whether it is not written, but we have to understand that manure always contain organic matter. So it will be, soil will be added with the organic matter with some nutrient, but which are the high nutrients? Nitrogen means N, phosphorus means P. Okay, so these nutrients will be added into the soil, which is very important for the crop health. And we will do this after this manure is formed, we will sow the crop seeds. Okay, in the end, we will sow the seeds so that our seeds can grow properly. Okay, before sowing the seeds, we have to prepare this green manure. Understand that when we prepare the manure before we sow the seeds. Clear? Okay, now let's go to the next topic, fertilizer. Another way of adding nutrient to the soil, that is fertilizer. Now, what the fertilizers are? They are commercially produced plant nutrients. Commercially means in bulk. In a bulk. They meant for selling. It's a business. Okay. Commercially means we produce these nutrients in the bulk for selling purpose. So the fertilizers are the word we use for the nutrients which are produced commercially. The fertilizer, this fertilizer will supply NPK. Okay, they are mostly nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are the three main supplements produced into the industry. That is NPK. In short form, you can remember like NPK. Okay, what fertilizers are made of? Fertilizers are mainly nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Okay, in shortcut, NPK fertilizer. Remember this, NPK. Then these fertilizers are used for what? For the good vegetative growth. Because it's okay. The fertilizers are what? Pure form of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Pure form. Okay, so they are actually what? Chemical. We can say that they are chemical. So when you add this chemical to the plant, to the soil, it will give good vegetative growth. Vegetative means leaves, branch, and flower of a crop will be growing very nice. See, they will flowering more, they will have a more branches, more leaves, or I should say healthy leaves and healthy branches when they get these nutrients. And this will give rise to healthy plants. And we know healthy plant will yield more. So it's important. The fertilizers are the factor in high yield of high cost farming. Why? Because see, they are the pure chemical. What fertilizers are? Pure chemical. And when you buy them, they are costly. What they are? They are costly material. So normally they are used by the farmers, big farmers, according to our textbook. Okay. Actually, nowadays everybody is using it. But according to the textbook theory, okay, what we can say that the fertilizers are being used by big farmers, okay, the rich farmers. And that is the reason it is known as high yield, but of high cost farming. Okay, it will be high cost. And in the high cost, the farmer will get good yield. Why good yield? Because you see, leaves, branches, and flowers will be growing good, which is a healthy plant. So plant is healthy. And why the plant is healthy? Because plant will get potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen. And these three things are very essential for the plant health. And you can see one more thing, that this is the pure fertilizer, pure chemical. It do not contains organic matter. See, organic matter is not written, which is present into manure. Okay, so organic matter is not present, but nutrient is there. But which nutrient? NPK. These are the nutrients are present. Okay, but organic matter is not present. And organic matter is important for soil health. Understand that. Okay, why this is important? For the soil health. And nutrient is important for plant health. Just imagine, your soil is healthy, your plant is healthy, is equal to good yield, high yield. If soil is not healthy but plant is healthy, it is not possible to get higher yield. Or the reverse, the soil is healthy but there are no nutrients, then it is useless. So we require both the things. The fertilizer should be applied carefully in the terms of proper dose, timing, and observing pre and post application. Why? Because fertilizers are chemical. So when we give chemical to the farm, we have to understand its dose, that how much you should give in, okay, which time. Like there is 1 acre, for example. Let me draw it here. For example, this is the 1 acre plant. So in 1 acre plant, normally you should give 20 kg maximum of fertilizer, maximum. Okay, this is example. But we normally what do is, some farmers, to get even higher yield, they are giving 50 kg in 1 acre. Okay, but now you can understand, we are giving 30 kg extra, which is not good for the health. Why? It is chemical. Okay, it is not having the organic matter, but only chemical. So we have to understand the dose. And second thing we have to understand is time. Time means once in a 3 month, once in a 6 months, okay, once in a year, etc. So the dose and the time should be very taken care. And we also have to observe the effect of the fertilizer. Means you have given the fertilizer. So what was the condition before the fertilizer given, and what is the condition after given fertilizer? Okay. So this is post, means after the fertilizer given, what is the effect on the plant? And pre means before the fertilizer given, what is the condition of a plant? What was the conditions of the plant? So you can actually compare whether it is good or bad. Means if the previously the plant is not healthy looking, but after giving the fertilizer, it looked healthy. Or the reverse, previously plant was looking good, but after the fertilizer given, it is not looking good. Why not looking good? Maybe extra fertilizer given. Okay, that's the reason. Otherwise, fertilizer is good for the plant. So we have to understand the pre and the post application precautions for their complete utilization. This is also important point. Utilization means what plant will do. You know, this is the plant. This is root. and this is N, P, and K. So this NPK should be absorbed by the root of a plant, and then it should reach to the leaves and other parts of the plant. And that is the no way the plant will get its nutrient. But this process takes time. This will take some time, okay? Like today you give it in the evening, it will absorb every nutrient. It is not possible. For example, it will take at least 1 month of time to absorb all the nutrient. Okay, 1 month of time to absorb all the nutrient, for example. Okay, but before waiting of 1 month, you are giving another dose of the fertilizer in next week. Weekly, you are giving it weekly. But that is not possible because plant require 1 month to absorb every nutrient from the soil. So you are giving weekly now, that is not good. So this is the thing we have to take care. This is called as complete utilization. Okay. What if you are giving the fertilizer after the month? That means the plant has utilized normally 100% of at least 90% of the nutrients. Okay. And this is good because we are spending money to buy the fertilizer. You are buying the fertilizer, you are giving the fertilizer, but plant is unable to absorb it. Then it is useless and waste of money. So if you give the same thing after the month, so let's assume that 90% of the nutrients are being absorbed by the plant. So it is good. Okay. It is paisa vasool. For example, sometimes fertilizers get washed away due to excessive irrigation. Now this is the problem. If you give irrigation extra water to the farm, okay, they will be washed away and are not fully absorbed. Another reason, plants this absorbed by the plant, and this excess fertilizer then lead to the water pollution. Okay, so first one thing that the plant should utilize it, and the utilization will take some time. And number two, when we the precaution is when we give fertilizer, okay, we do not have to irrigate so often. Means if let's take example day one, okay, day one. In the day one, you give the fertilizer to the fertilizer to the farm. So just you have given the fertilizer, and the second day you will irrigate over here. Day two, you will be irrigating. Then you can see on second day, okay, most nutrient will be washed away, or maybe just after 1 hour, etc., etc. So instead of irrigating on the second day, maybe wait for 5 to 6 or 1 week. Okay, so that plant will get some time to absorb it. Okay, and again, because we are spending some money on the fertilizer, and if it is being washed away, it is not good for us. So irrigation we have to do in very planning way. Okay, not like today I am giving fertilizer and just after that I will irrigating, and irrigation will be not, it should not be excessive irrigation, extra water. I will give you example, like this is the crop, for example. Okay, so when we in India, okay, the farmers when irrigate, the water will be very high, like this, so much high, and water will wash. And this circles what I'm drawing is fertilizer. So these fertilizer will washed away with the water. So this place will become empty. And when they washed away, and they will be accumulating in this area, for example, they are all accumulating here. So this area is high in fertilizer, and this area is empty of fertilizer. So this area, the plant will grow very less. And in this area, the plant will grow If it is very high, plant cannot grow. Okay, excessive fertilizer is also harmful to the plant. So the irrigation should be under control. Next is continue use of the fertilizer in an area can destroy the soil fertility. Okay, I just explained and you just saw that when fertilizers are getting accumulated in a corner of a farm, okay, that area, it will destroy that area and the plants. Because organic matter in the soil is not replenished and it is chemical. What we are adding is chemical, but not organic matter, which is important for the soil. Microorganisms in the soils are harmed by fertilizer use because again it's a chemical. Now, what chemical can do? Chemical can, for example, change the pH, okay, and like that. And when the pH is changed, it will kill the microorganism, okay, it will kill microorganisms. And why microorganisms is important? Because we just saw that microorganism will do the decomposition. And some microorganisms are nitrogen fixative bacteria, like rhizobium. Okay, some are doing nitrogen fixation into the soil. Okay, for example, rhizobium bacteria and other bacteria. So these bacteria will be killed again. When these bacteria are getting killed, okay, the natural cycle of nitrogen will be killed over here. So together we can understand from this whole theory is the fertilizer can give you short-term benefit, or I should say, if you want short-term benefit, you can use fertilizer. And the manure will give you the long-term benefit. Okay. If you are calm and patient, you can use manure. But this is good. Okay. And this is good, but under control. Both are good, but fertilizer should be used under controlled manner. So now we know that what is manure, what is fertilizer, and what is the importance of the manure and fertilizer. We can see that fertilizer is creating pollution of a soil and pollution of a water. Okay. So it is better for us to avoid chemicals in the farming, and that type of farming is known as organic farming. So what is organic farming? Organic farming means in that farming we will use the minimal or no use, maybe minimum use or no use of the chemicals as the fertilizer. Means we will not use fertilizers, we will not use herbicides, we will not use pesticides, we will not use all these things for the farming. And with the maximum input, okay, what we will give inside then? We will be giving organic manure. Okay, only organic manure, which is what? Recycled farm, straw, livestock excreta, which is good because it is given organic matter will be added by organic manure. Okay. Use of bioagents, we will use the bioagent. For example, culture of the blue-green algae in the preparations of biofertilizer. See, the term is called biofertilizer. Okay. Bio means living and fertilizer means living fertilizer. That means no chemical. For example, neem leaves or maybe turmeric. Why? Especially in the grain storage, where we have to use these things for the storage of a grain as a biopesticide. So we will not use the pesticides. See this, but instead we will be using biopesticides. Okay, which is good. It's not chemical. With a healthy cropping system, and we can also do organic farming with the help of cropping system. The system means we can use the mixed cropping, intercropping, and in this is here crop rotation. Okay, three things: mixed cropping, intercropping, and rotation of a crop. like we are, okay, discussed, sorry, we have to discuss this after this, okay? 12.1.2, the third part. So we'll be discussing this now. Type of, what is the meaning of mixed topic? Sorry, mixed, see, healthy, we can adapt cropping system. Cropping system, the type is mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation. We will be learning next. These cropping systems are beneficial in insect, pest, weed control, besides providing the nutrients. Sorry, this is the spelling mistake. This is weed, okay? This is weed control, okay? So it will help us removing the insect, removing the pest, and removing the weeds, okay? Now let's jump to the next 12.1.2, part 2, irrigation. Okay. What is irrigation? Irrigation means watering to the plant. Okay. What is irrigation? Watering to the plant. So that is known as irrigation. In India, what is India? India is mostly rain-fed region. Okay. Most agriculture in India, they depend on the rain. That means they depend on rain. For what? For irrigation. Okay. In India, normal, we depends on rain for the irrigation. That means whenever rain comes, our crop in the farm will get water. Imagine and think over here that what if rain do not come, or the rain is coming only 4 months maximum in a, okay, in the year. So we living do we not do the no farming in the other 8 months? What we do in the other 8 months, that means, okay, what we do in other 8 months, are we not farming? Obviously we are farming. Okay, then how? Without irrigation, is it possible without irrigation? The answer is no, it is not possible. So we are not waiting for only the rain for the irrigation. Then what we do? Let's understand. That is the success of the crop in the most area. Okay, what is the success in the yield in the crop? Irrigation system. It depends on timely monsoon. See, monsoon, but it should come on time. And sufficient rainfall also. There are two factors you need to understand. It should be the timely monsoon, and number two, sufficient rainfall. What if rain do not come? What if rain comes, but the less rain is there? What if monsoon do not come on time? So these are the factors can affect agriculture in India because we are rain-fed region. Okay, one of the country. Spread through most of the growing season. What is spreading? Monsoon means water. We are talking about water only over here. So hence, if the poor monsoon is there, it will cause crop failure. Okay, poor monsoon means no water. No water means crop failure. Ensuring that the crops get water at the right stages during their growing season can increase the expected yield of any crop. This is the line. See, there are two sentences. If the monsoon is poor, it will cause the crop failure. But we don't want that. So what we can do is we can ensure the irrigation in the growing season. Okay. And so that we can get expected yields over here. Expected yields. 3 points are there. Okay. If monsoon is not there, no problem. We can ensure what? We can ensure irrigation. The term is, if we ensure the irrigation, whatever season it is, doesn't matter, rainy season or summer season or winter season. But if you irrigate in time, now which time you should irrigate? Understand, during the growing season. Just a second. Okay. Right stage. Right stage. Which stage? Growth stage. You can say growth stage or growth season. Okay. If you do give water in the proper time, that is a growing stage of a plant, we can get expected yields. But if does not happen, then crop may die. The crop undergoes the failure. Therefore, many measures are used to bring the more and more agricultural land under irrigation. So what we did is, if rain do not come, no problem. We are doing this. Okay. We are bringing the land of agriculture under irrigation system. Let's understand the meaning of this. Like, India has a wide variety of water resource. Understand, irrigation means watering to the plant. So you can give water anyhow. No, okay, if there is a rainwater, you can give rainwater water. But what if there is no rainwater? Then we can give water from any other places, that is called water resources. So in India, there are varieties of water resources are present and highly varied climate. See, these are the two things. We have many water resources. Also in India, we have varied climate conditions. Okay. Under these kinds of conditions, several different kind of irrigation systems are adopted to supply the water. Now over here, varied climate conditions are different. Okay. If you change the region, if you change the state, okay, the climatic conditions are different. So according to that, we have to supply water to the agricultural land. And depending on the kinds of water resource available, means what resource is available there. Okay. According to that, you can take water from the resource. Like there is a, see, example is well, canal, river, and tanks. For example, there is a village. In that village, a lake is there. Okay. A lake is there. So you can take water from the lake according to the environment of the village, climate of the village. But if you want to take water from the canal, but there is no canal, then what you can do? You can do nothing. Simply understand. You can use whatever is present over there. So if in the village lake is there, okay, people can use the lake water for irrigation. They cannot use canal water. Means whatever is available, you can utilize it. So we have to understand every subtopics. Like the source is wells. Wells are of two type in India. One is called the dug well. A dug well water is collected from the water bearing strata. Okay. So this is the dug well. Dug well means, in simple language, kuo. What happens? Like this is the well, for example. It's a well. Okay. The well, may you have seen the well. So wells are very deep down like this. And the wells will get water from soil. You can say underground water. Okay, so from underground, the water will come into this well, and this well then get filled by water, and that water we can utilize for the irrigation. This is known as dug well. And the second type of well is known as a tube well. A tube well can tap the water from deeper strata. That means what happens? This is the soil level, and this is the another level. Now, this is the water, okay? Deep down, underground. This is what underground water. Okay, this is underground water. So we will be using some pump, and that pump will, okay, that pump will pump the water outside. Okay, water comes outside through the pump. These kinds of wells are known as tube wells. So with the help of a pump, we will suck the water, we will pump the water from the deep down underground water. So these are the two type of wells we can use for irrigation. From these wells, water is lifted by pump for irrigation. So in both the places, okay, we can again use the pump, because here see, like this was the, okay, water is here. This is the water, but water is not going to come outside. So for that, we can use pump. Okay, we can use this pump. The pump will do that work. And the same thing is here. Pump was present. So here we are already using the pump, but in both the way, we can do the irrigation with the water. Example is well. Second example is canals. You can see the picture. This is what a canal. You can see the picture, it is canal. Now, this is a canal from where water is coming from river. Okay, from the river, water will come into canal, and from the canal, you can see this area. This is a small division of a canal. Okay, this is the division of a canal. This is canal. So in the canal, water is coming from river. So from the river, water will come into the canal, and from the canal, it will go from this division into the farm. You can see this area, the water going area. So with this small divisions, water can enter into farm. Okay, water can enter into farm. And this is the way we can use the canal water for irrigation. Let's read this here. This is usually an elaborated, extensive irrigation system, because you can see so many farms are covered. So many village can be covered with this system. In this system, canal receives the water from one or more reservoir, for example, river. And the main canal, this is called main canal. Okay, this is the main canal. And these are divisions. So main canal will divide into the branches canal, having further distributaries to the irrigation or irrigated field. So this is the main, this is the division, and through the division, it will enter into this farm. Next is river lift system. For example, this is river, bank of a river, maybe. So in that, you can see we are using this pump. What is this? Pump. So if in your village nearby, river is there, so you can see this type of a setup where water from the river directly taken for the irrigation. Okay, directly you can take water here into your field. Okay, and we can take the water with the help of pump. There is a pump. The pump will, okay, pump the water from river to the area of irrigation. In the area where canal flows is insufficient or irregular, you can use canal, but there is no canal then due to inadequate reservoir release. Means sometimes canal is there, but canal do not have the water also. So that is called inadequate reservoir release. Means the canal is not getting water from the river. Okay, the lift system is more rational. We can use the lift system. Means pump. The water is directly drawn from the river for supplementing the irrigation in the areas close to the river. See, close to the river only. Okay. Next is tanks. Now, these are small. Tank is what? Tank is the storage reservoir. Okay. Tank is storage reservoir. You know tank meaning in your home, okay, on your roof. Okay, there are water tank, 500 liter, 1000 liter water tank you are using. That is tanks. And water tank is obviously we use the tank for a storage. What storing we are? Water. We are storing the water. So the tanks are storage reservoir which intercept and store the runoff of a smaller catchment area. Means we will catch a little bit water and we will store the water into the tank, and we can later on utilize that water whenever we want, like we do in our home. Fresh initiatives for increasing the water availability for agriculture includes. Now, which are the ways you can bring water into your tanks? For example, rainwater harvesting is the one method, and second is watershed management system. May you have heard about rainwater harvesting. Okay, so if this is a home, for example, if this is a home, okay, so when rain comes, the rainwater will gather over here on this upper floor. Through the help of a pipe, water will come down. Okay, water comes down in the through the pipe. Downside, there will be big tanks are present, which is called underground tank. This is an underground tank where water is stored. And this area will be full of water. This water you can utilize at any time. Secondly, like I just told you that there is a tank on your home or in your farm. Okay, big tanks. So with the help of a pump, we will fill this tank, and with this tank you can utilize the water for your irrigation of your plant. Okay, irrigation of your field. So this is the way tanks are helping. The tank is over here, what? Reservoir of the water, storage of the water. We store the water. This involves building small check dams, which led to an increase the groundwater. Now, check dams, you may have heard about the check dams. Okay, the dams. So the government is building the dams. What dams will do? Dams will, like this is the area, and here we will make this dam. This is river, for example. So river water will come here and water will accumulate here only. It will not go outside. Okay, not go forward direction. And this is the way we store. This is what we are storing the water actually. We will store the water. When we store the water, this water will go into the underground water and increases underground water level. The check dams stop the rainwater from flowing away. Okay, when rain comes, the water accumulate here and also reduces the soil erosion through the water. This is the good example of a tank. What is this? It's a tank. Like once you have a tank, you can fill it, and later on you can use the tank waterfall for the irrigation. A fresh initiative. Okay, this is already done. Next is 12.1.2.